Yo, what's going on, guys? And we're hearing that Jonas Valanciunas has been traded for Sidy Cissoko and 2 second-round picks to the Sacramento Kings, which in my opinion, I think was a rather solid deal as it puts the Washington Wizards, obviously, to get off of Jonas Valanciunas' contract. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh, they should have gotten more. I'm like, look, for a guy that you just signed in free agency, you just turned him to 2 second-round picks. Sidy Cissoko has all the athleticism and physical tools to become a decent defender in the NBA. I think right now it's more of an opinion of how do we maximize his potential, and Washington is a perfect place for him. So let's now talk about Sacramento and why they'd bring Jonas Valanciunas in. First off, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you think they're bringing in Jonas Valanciunas to be the backup center, or do you think they're going to try the supersize me lineup because Jonas and Sabonis have both played together at the same time in European competitions with their national teams or in international competitions with their team, Lithuania. So they have experience playing together. And if you do this, you hypothetically could start a lineup of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Jonas Valanciunas, and Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis would play the four, and you would tell Sabonis and Jonas Valanciunas both to start shooting a bit more threes than they had in the past. And to me, I ain't like saying no to that. First off, this would make this team so much deeper. Like, I'm talking, this team now gets to move Keon Ellis and a lot of their other guys to the bench, which I actually think would help them in the sense that I think this team would benefit from having more size and the ability to just be this physically rebounding team that controls the boards. Obviously, everyone's going to be like, they're going to get killed in transition. They're going to get killed in transition, and that they're going to be mismatch hunted by pick and rolls, and interior defense could be a problem. I understand that. But at the same time, one can't sit here and imagine Jonas Valanciunas and Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan. Plus, I know spacing becomes an issue if that was the starting lineup. But at the very least, if it would make a very intriguing fit. Now, I think the most interesting thing is more than likely going to be how, if he comes off the bench, is that because they want to stagger the minutes of Sabonis so he's fresher? Because Jonas Valanciunas can do a very good job of emulating what Sabonis does. So I think that's one thing to think of and why I think he's a good fit for them here. Now, again, I've told you guys, off the bench, if we think about it, it could be the better fit, as if you look at the Kings' current roster, they're a team that, with Doug Christie now as their coach, I found it rather interesting that they've been able to go ahead and put themselves in a position where the other game where they played the Wolves, they were running a lineup of Murray, DeRozan, Sabonis, Malik Monk, and Keon Ellis. You assume either Keon Ellis or Malik Monk would be in the starting lineup. You still have Trey Lyles off the bench with Devin Carter and Isaac Jones. So I think this is like a rather interesting team, one that I find quite intriguing because the fit's going to help raise the team's ceiling in a way that I think a lot of people might have not estimated that a guy like, Jonas Valanciunas could. Now, if we want to look at it from a team stat standpoint for the Kings, I really do believe bringing in Valanciunas will help the Kings be able to raise their floor at the very least. They're currently 8th in the Western Conference, and they're a squad that is the 8th best scoring offense the 8th worst in opponent points allowed, while their defensive rating is 19th, 11th worst, and 8th best offensive rating, while their net rating is actually 12th. So that's good that they're in the upper echelon in their net rating. But when you look at the team, now with De'Aaron Fox gone, you obviously, and you sent out in that deal Kevin Huerter, I think going big is going to help this team, especially with a guy like Jonas Valanciunas this season. He's been playing 20 minutes a night, 11 points, 8 rebounds. In 20 minutes a night, 55%. That's pretty good. 2 assists a night and just under a steal, a block a game. I definitely think it was rather intriguing to see how he was able to play this reserve role for a guy whose career averages of like 13 and 10 almost. It's been good to watch. Plus, he, for his career from three, he's like a 35% 3-point shooter on 1 attempt a night. And when he had that like 3-year stretch with New Orleans, and if he was putting up about 1.5, 2 a game on, I would say like 34%, which pretty solid. So to me, I think you have the potential to really get yourself a guy who, in my opinion, will allow you to not only raise the floor, but maybe even help yourself become the team that you hope when we're talking about playoffs. And I think they're a team that knows that it's not just trying to get themselves to the playoffs. No, it's about trying to elevate this team's play to more than just a first round exit. And obviously, I think Jonas could help you out there. Seriously. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's an easy thing to fix, but I do believe it's one trade that a lot of people might not have envisioned happening, but that does help raise a team's ceiling or floor, in my opinion. Maybe it raises the team ceiling. I do think that'll be one that'll be harder to do, as it's not desperate, but they're clearly trying to go through the bargaining bin and find out if anybody else's dirty laundry could be, not dirty laundry, but somebody else's trash could be their treasure. And it's not always the prettiest thing to watch, but you have to say it is commendable that they're at least putting the effort to maybe have something that on paper, might not be the best of deals, but at least could theoretically, like, it's a very low risk, medium reward type of deal that they had to make, and they had to just try to do something to keep everybody happy, because at the end of the day, DeMar, we've heard already, was wanting, we're the rumors that DeMar could ask out if De'Aaron was traded, and obviously De'Aaron was traded. So I felt like this was the type of move you do to try to appease people. And here we go. You got yourself Jonas Valanciunas. How exciting. And that's where I want to hear from Kings fans. Are you upset? Are you cool with this? Like, what is your initial reaction when you hear Jonas Valanciunas joining a team, or joining the team? As I do believe this was one that nobody heard Jonas was on their radar. So that's the other thing that makes me laugh, is it's not like, oh, somebody thought this was going to happen. No, nobody thought this was going to happen. Yours was not on anybody's Yahtzee card. And that's it. I'll head out. Hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe. If there was anything else I might have missed, let me know.